We are quorum and it's 2 minutes past 8. Kayla, thanks for joining us. You are appreciated. And also Advocate Masdorp is more appreciated after traveling for about 2 hours. And I will literally make sure that you get your chocolate. My name is Matlodi Maseko for record purposes, and I'm the chair for the Standing Committee of Infrastructure. Members, if you can introduce yourselves and our colleagues that have joined us for records this morning. Over to you, starting with you, Member Kayla.
Thank you, Chair. Kayla Murray. Apologies, I was having technical difficulties. My laptop's been playing up a bit lately. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is still Mbulelo Isaac Seleku, and I'm still a member of the community. Thank you.
The officials that have joined us. Shumis?
There's no officials that joined us, Chairperson.
Oh, I thought the administration that has joined us.
Oh, of us, okay.
Good morning.
Maybe let me take the initiative, Chairperson. My name is Romeo Marstorp. I'm still Romeo Marstorp and assistant to this committee as legal advisor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson and members. It's Lizette Klutter. I'm still the Senior Procedural Officer supporting this committee.
Good morning, Chairperson and members and senior officials. I am Shamish Jones. I am still the coordinator or the procedural officer for the Standing Committee on Infrastructure.
Thank you. Candice, are you still Candice?
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members. Still Candice, ICT assistant.
Thank you. Masentle, are you still?
Morning, members. Morning, colleagues. I am still Masintle Mkhobata, committee assistant. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As I'm still the chairperson of the infrastructure and also still Matlodi Maseko, I haven't received any apologies, Shumis. Any apologies from your side?
None received, Chairperson.
Okay, thank you. Colleagues, I think today we are dealing with the final mandate on the expropriation bill. I think we've been waiting for this meeting for a very long time. And we did receive the D version of the bill. Let me allow Member Maran to introduce himself for record purpose. Good morning, Member Maran.
Morning, sir, Chairperson, and good morning to everyone present. My name is Pat Maran, member of this committee.
Thank you very much, member. So, members, as I started talking about this, we received the D version. So we are going to deal with the deliberation and the final mandate on the expropriation bill. So the only snag, I think, that I talked to and then maybe for the record, Advocate Masdorp can help us. So we received the D version of the bill, Advocate Masdorp, but we didn't receive the minutes. And we have to deliberate on the final mandate without the minutes of the D version from the NCOP. The reason that was given to Shumis is there's no any changes on the C version, so we can continue. Is that in order for us to continue? Advocate Masdorp, Lizette Lute.
Chairperson, yeah, I have a response. But I'm not sure if I have an answer because I would defer this to my colleague from procedural. I would, however, just want to inquire, Chair, why it is that we haven't received the minutes, because that would be critical to inform our deliberations, because we didn't just give a negotiating mandate from our thumbs. We gave reasons for our mandate to not support the bill, especially insofar as it relates to the one issue of intangible property, whether that's included in the bouquet of property that may be expropriated. The fact that we didn't receive minutes, that is an oddity. And maybe our procedural colleagues can explain or can give reasons for that, because at this stage it's not really for legal to volunteer an opinion in that regard. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Before Shumis, can I ask Lizette?
Good morning, Chairperson, through you, members. Yes, so I did some research last night with regards to the availability of the minutes of the DBIL. And what basically happened is the NCOP committee sat in November on the negotiating mandate and basically discussed the parameters of negotiation of all provinces, including the Western Cape. When Shamise distributed the minutes of November and of 7 February, the responses to our proposal for amendments were discussed. So the committee sat on the 7th of February and they sat on the C list of amendments, proposed amendments. So I spoke to both the departmental official and the content advisor, and they've advised us that the C list amendments is basically the list of amendments which informs the DBIL. So there were no need for them to sit after the C list of amendments. They will be sitting tomorrow on the DBIL. So in terms of procedure, members and Chairperson, I do not foresee a problem if we sit on the final mandate, which is the DBIL, because the minutes of the C list of the 7th of February basically details what the committee discussed with regards to the input on the negotiating mandate on the expropriation bill. So procedurally, I checked last night even with Mr. Pochenpoel, our I don't know what you call him in a section, but anyway, I checked with him and he checked with NCP as well, and we can actually go ahead with this meeting because they didn't sit on the D bill, they sat on the C list of proposed amendments, which basically informed or is the D bill that we are discussing today. So yeah, that's just my input with regards to further deliberations on the expropriation bill. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Lizette. Members, any clarity about that? Advocate Masdorp?
Chairperson, do we know, as Western Cape Standing Committee, whether our proposed amendments, like I said, which we didn't thumbsuck, whether those amendments have been considered and factored into another version, a subsequent version? Because that will inform whether we have a final mandate to support now the bill or to just endorse or reiterate our non-support. It's almost asking us to make a decision above the ground, and we don't know what happened on the ground since the submission of our negotiating mandate. I hear what my colleague is saying, and notwithstanding what she is saying, I'm not sure whether it advances my concern.
Okay. Thank you very much. Lizette, I see your hand.
Yes, Chairperson. I think, may I screen the minutes of the NCOP where they actually mentioned the deliberations on the input on the mandates? With your permission, Chairperson?
Yes,
Okay.
you may do that. Members, any clarity from your side?
Chair, I think just from my side,
Yeah.
in terms of looking at a final mandate, I would just maybe add this as a procedural concern. And for me, another reason is why we shouldn't support it, or shouldn't allow the NCOP delegate to support it.
Thank you. Member Maran?
Chairperson, thanks. Chair, it will be impossible for me to look at my phone screen. As I've said, I've indicated that I'm busy driving, so I can only listen. It will be possible for me to look at the screen and to look in front of me at the same time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Member Seleku?
Chair, thank you very much. I hear what Lizette is saying, and I just going to leave it at that. That it's unfortunate that we don't have the minutes, because it would actually assist us greatly. Because they need to sit and they were supposed to deliberate so that we can also know and follow their discussions, as we're not privy to their meetings. But if we might disagree, we might agree to disagree as to why they don't have minutes. But it does not make sense to me, Chair, that we don't have minutes when they have said and they have deliberated on this issue, regardless of whether the stances remain the same. But at least I think the decent thing you can do is to actually share, your deliberations and how you came to that particular decision. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Lizette, over to you.
Okay, sorry, Chairperson, sorry, members. I'll just take you through the first lot of minutes, and that was the 23rd of November. Okay, so this was basically after we submitted our negotiating mandate on the exploration bill, B23B, the Select Committee set. That was present, the opening remarks. So Shami sent this to everyone, and then the proceedings. So yeah, they basically detail that 8 provinces voted in favorable, 1 province, Western Cape, voted not to support the bill. 6 provinces made proposals to amend the bill. That is Eastern Cape, Free State, and including us. Then here they provided a summary on the provincial mandate on the expropriation bill. Now we'll see in the columns name of legislature voting and the committee resolution, where it basically says the outer column, no resolution seal is to be considered. So yeah, Advocate Master can then basically just guide me on when I flight the second lot of minutes, but this is where they said no resolution, list C to be considered. So I think in this minutes of November, they basically identified which proposal, which amendments to consider for the C list. So I will stop screening the November minutes. We'll see the meeting ended where committee resolution, the committee agreed to afford the Office of the State Law Advisor and Legal Services to draft a C list. The Office of the State Parliamentary proposal for amendments, and they've been because a week to finalize. So for the consideration voting and the final mandates. So I'm going to stop screening this minutes, and then I will screen the minutes of the 7th of February, where the Select Committee sat on the C list of amendments. Okay, members, I'll just move to the top of the document. Chairperson, is this document visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's go to the top. So this is another 24 November, but this is basically just the matrix of input. So this was 24 November, where they also discussed the mandates, who gave written submissions, You'll see, I just want to highlight to the Committee Western Cape, Standing Committee on Infrastructure, having considered the subject of the bill, refer to the committee, confers in the do not support the bill. And here it actually adds 3.2 because it put really put thought into this mandate that we weren't happy with the time frame allocated to fully prepare and respond to the bill, which was insufficient. And then they have a whole table where they're actually looking at our proposed and other provinces. Say, for example, if I go to the first one, the definitions. If we go to Limpopo, where we now? Northwest. Okay, let's go to definition of property. Definition of court. So that is where, in answering the questions where they dealt with the definitions of court, in the outer column, they would say it'd be helpful to have examples of guidelines. So this is actually the matrix which informs us that the NCOP Select Committee looked at the proposed amendments. I'll stop screening this one and then we go to 7 February. Shamise, don't you want to screen 7 February, please? I seem to not be able to screen it from my side. Thanks.
I'll just have a look quickly.
Are you winning, Shamise? I think while we're waiting for Shamise, you know, the other thing that is concerning on the meeting on the 24th, for example, on the definition of court, Lizette. So their response was for the Western Cape Provincial Parliament, their response was that it would have been helpful to have examples of guidelines. It may be that the bill could require the minister to prescribe guidelines for expropriating intangible property by a set date. Now, if you still have that and you don't have the minutes of the version, and on the 24th, they were still talking about it would be helpful if there's examples of the guidelines. It makes it difficult for the members, but let's continue. Let's see the 7th. Okay, you can continue with the 7th, Lizette.
Okay, Chairperson, let me take the 7th, and then I'll basically just propose a way forward procedure for the members. Okay, thanks, Shamise. So this was the meeting on the 7th, where the C list of amendments, you see outlined the purpose of the meeting, which was to consider the C list on the preparation bill, B24B, and then, yeah, you may move, Shamise. I just want to take, okay. So it basically just says they consider the C list of proposed amendments. They tabled it, and you can move. I just want to get to the end of the minutes. I don't want to delay it this still. Okay, so just that last, yeah. So that basically then details that they sat on the C list and adopted it. Thanks, Shamise. I'm done speaking to that minutes. So Chairperson and committee, this basically now is in the committee reel. The committee may now decide whether, in the absence of minutes of a discussion on the actual D bill, whether the committee want to go ahead in submitting a final mandate, or is the committee pleased to actually look at the minutes of the C list amendments and continue with the negotiating mandate. So procedurally, as I said, I've been explained the procedure from that side by both NCOP, the department, and our liaison officer, but it still stays with the committee to make the decision whether they will continue with the final mandate or not. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Member Seleko.
Thank you very much. I'll go straight to Lizette. Lizette, tell me now for sure, what is the norm we need to go to make it so as simple as possible. What is a norm when we deal with a D list? Should there be minutes or should there be not minutes? You have surely been in this process previously. What has been the norm? Thank you very much, Chair.
Lizette?
Okay, through you, Chairperson, I actually, you won't believe it, this is the first one that I'm dealing with a table. So while the committee is deliberating, I don't want even to take a chance to respond to Member Saleko now. Let me just go to my previous minutes and then I'll come back to you in the next 5 minutes, if that is in order. Chairperson?
Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you.
that will be in order. Okay, members, there are the two options that Lizette as she tries to find out. What are we going to do? Are we going to continue deliberating on this on the final mandate, or are we going to hold so that we can get the explanation in writing? Because we don't have it in writing. Also about the minutes of the D version of the bill. It's the conversation that was on the phone. Kayla?
Yeah, I would be more comfortable to have it in writing.
Okay. Of which, if we are going to do it in writing, that means we are going to reschedule the meeting. If the committee members majority agree on that. Member Maran?
Yeah, Chair, I wanted to second the proposal made by the Honorable Murray.
Okay.
Because I'm also going to concern that Mr. Masdorf have that we are currently above the ground whilst we don't know what's happening on the ground. Almost like running blind. So I support, Chair. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much. Member Slego?
No, Chair. Now that number 9 has already spoken, then I would decline to comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Shumis, when is the final mandate of the expropriation bill?
The final mandate of the expropriation bill is tomorrow, Chair.
Okay. That's the challenge of how we are being played down about all this. Advocate Master, legally, well, what will be the shortcoming for us? Because that means we are not going to be able to do this today. What's the worst case scenario? If they continue with the final mandate and COP and we haven't sent our final mandate to the NCOP. Legally, what's the worst case scenario?
Chairperson, maybe the following.
Yeah.
We are in the middle of a lawmaking process. And this is a bill that will have national implications and national ramifications when it comes to property owned by our fellow citizens. We are integral, this province, we are integral in this lawmaking process. And as lawmakers, we must be able to account to the public out there whether or not, and if we don't, why we did not support this bill, and if we do, why we supported this bill. Because their property may become vulnerable, firstly. Secondly, this whole machination of lawmaking involves the National Assembly, the NCOP, provinces, stakeholders, submissions, written or oral or otherwise, negotiating mandate, many standing committee meetings. It's a whole machinery of lawmaking to bring about the best product available in the form of a law. And we do our part, Chairperson. by doing everything possible as far as public hearings and soliciting public input is concerned. In fact, so much so that we were able intelligently to do a negotiating mandate, not a thumbsuck, but an in-depth consideration of the substantive issues regarding the bill. And everyone knows on the eve of our election how important it is for a bill of this nature, this magnitude, this impactful, to have this law passed in whatever guise it may take. Secondly. Thirdly, we are constantly confronted with stringent timelines from the NCOP. And we do our level best to go on record, to ask for more time, or to raise our concerns with the limited time we are frequently confronted with, because it impacts on the extent of our deliberations, the extent of our solicitation of public input, and the quality of the law that we are expected to pass as lawmakers. Stringent timelines. Today, we have a meeting on the 12th of March about something as impactful as expropriating some citizens' land. And we have to have this submission tomorrow. In the absence of mandate of minutes to inform our deliberations. In other words, I am saying to Chairperson, I do not know qualitatively, substantively, whether this committee is in a position to convey a final mandate to its permanent delegate. We don't know. So we can certainly convey a final mandate to say we do not support this bill because in the absence of minutes, we are no further down the road to where we were at the time of our negotiating mandate. Would that be sound? Would that be would that be sound as lawmakers to say we can't support this bill because of minutes? Let's say this matter ends up in the courts, and by the way, it very likely may. Looking at all the varied stakeholders that had problems with this bill, convincing problems, sufficiently persuasive problems, but we don't know whether their concerns have been integrated and infused in an intelligent way in another version of the bill. We don't know. So let's say this matter comes before the Constitutional Court. What will be asked of WCPP legal advisor in an affidavit to argue before that court? Can we legitimately, ethically, comprehensively argue that we applied our mind and we have considered all matters subsequent to the negotiating mandate submission? No, we can't say that because we don't know. So, Chairperson, with that, the committee is now expected to make a resolution, and I am not sure whether this committee is in a position different to where it was at the time of the negotiating mandate. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Lizette? Lizette, I see your hand.
Good morning. Chairperson, sorry. Yes, it's Lizette. Now I'm in agreement with Advocate Master's sentiments. I think we are short in time, but also as Advocate Master said, we are here to pass just laws, and we must do our processes as we should. So as I said previously, the committee, the two options of the committee, we'll have to draft a letter quite urgently to NCOP or contact the permanent delegate requesting the minutes of a meeting on the D-bill if they had a meeting, and then from there we as a committee may decide what we can do. It might require that the committee have to convene sometime very short, half an hour meeting to decide on the mandate. But I think the way forward, I would suggest to the committee, you know, I've been informed again that because we have the C list of amendments and the D-bill, we may go ahead with the final mandate, but I don't want to take that decision for this committee, also with the guidance of the legal advisor. So let's rather check with NCOP whether there is minutes, which we receive. So it's up to the committee.
Okay, so what I'm going to, okay, Shumis, quickly, because I've got the members that are supposed to be in the meeting, Kayla and Maran, I think.
Through you, Chair, they've informed me that there is no minutes for the D version of the bill.
Okay. Can they put that in writing? They must inform you on the phone, must write to the committee to say there's no D version of the bill because we are supposed to have the minutes. That is important to us. And if that is the case, Advocate Masdorp, how do we deal with it? Kayla, and who's also on the agriculture before Advocate Masdorp comes in? Who's on agriculture? Because I know member Selekwe, I know member Maran also
Chair,
has to, yes.
I'm not on agriculture, Chair.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
But we still have 25 minutes.
Pardon? You're
We
starting
still have at 9.
Oh, so it's past. Okay, thank you very much. We can continue. Advocate Masdorp?
Chairperson, I think we need to get our record in order. So I would certainly recommend that our procedural colleagues engage the NCOP to get on the record that we have been informed by whoever that there are no minutes in respect of a particular meeting dated at whatever time. And we ask them to confirm that fact so that down the line, and my head is thinking litigation, down the line, we will be in a position to argue why we were not placed as lawmakers in a position to make a decision regarding the final mandate. That's the one. The other thing which my colleague Lizette has mentioned is that we should reconvene at another time. But now I'm not sure whether that will be necessary in the sense that we won't have minutes. We will just be regurgitating this same meeting's sentiments. Unless we are given minutes and then we can consider and digest those minutes. In the absence of minutes, as it seems there are no minutes, then this committee is not in a position to give its support for the bill.
Yeah.
And that must be placed on record because of the absence of minutes. It impacts on the lawmaking process because of NCOP timelines and it seems the absence of minutes from them.
Okay. Lizette, you want to? Lizette? Zeta?
Chairperson, Chairperson, yes, it's Lizette. Okay, yes, in agreement. I think, Chairperson, the way forward then would be that we adjourn this meeting, and then reconvene. Basically, I don't know how the schedules of members. I mean, I know Advocate Masdorp mentioned something about time also now, and then reconvene once we have a response. But what I know is that there weren't a meeting. But the other option would be is to get the permanent delegate to actually address the committee also shortly in maybe explaining that why there's no minutes on the D bill. So that is the other option we could consider as well. But in terms of procedure and in terms of ensuring that we comply, I would say that we adjourn this meeting. Shamiz and myself do our our necessary searches for minutes, which we know does not exist, but speak to the permanent delegate and then reconvene this meeting very briefly, virtually, just to decide on a way forward with regards to the bill. That's my input, Chairperson.
Okay, let's do that. I'll talk to Michaela members to check when can we urgently meet, which it can be, if possible, between 1 and 2 today, if it will be possible to get the response as quick as that. If that is not the case, because we need that in writing, that it will be the key. If that is not possible for us to get that, that will be the letter that we'll have to write a letter to, and we'll ask Advocate Masdorp in structuring that letter with the very nice legal words to communicate with the NCOP, and because it will be that we are not going to support that bill totally because of the absence of that minutes of the D version of the bill. And the reason being, we don't have the minutes, so we can't even say anything as the lawmakers. We don't have the deliberation of the amendments in that. So I think we have to, I'm talking and I'm trying to look at the time frames at the same time, sorry. We have to check if we can meet today. If it's not today, that means it will be tomorrow morning, the same time. Advocate Masdorp, it will be the 2 chocolates, the ramen raisin and the top deck. If it's
Chairperson,
tomorrow morning at 8.
The company Lint don't make top deck, Chairperson.
Sorry. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, members, are you in agreement?
Agreed, Chair.
Okay.
Yeah,
Member
Chair.
Mara? You?
Yeah, Chair, between 1 and 2 will be impossible.
Okay.
Because we got 2 meetings today. The one of agriculture that starts at 2 o'clock this afternoon, 9 o'clock, the one of environmental affairs, development and planning. So it will be impossible. Tomorrow morning will be fine.
Okay, morning, 8 o'clock, and who's Slack? Isaac?
Thank you very much, Chair. I just wanted to record, Chair, that tomorrow I'll be having a meeting at 9, and then I'll be having another one at 2. So tomorrow is very busy, and usually I start at 7 during my day to prepare for the meeting that is going to start at 9.
Okay, I'll be with you in that meeting, but we already got the feeling. On the WhatsApp group, we'll communicate the development so that it's quicker and easier in the morning. Work with me.
Chair.
Yes, member.
So we also got a meeting at 9, but we
and you are here.
And we are here, Chair. So that can't be used as an excuse, or can be used as an excuse, Chair. Yeah.
Okay. I know it's going to be between the 2 of you arguing about this. Member Seleko?
No, Chair. Now that the number 9 has spoken, I withdraw, Chair. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate
I
it.
was
Okay,
wondering earlier, Chair, who's number 9? Was he referring to Kayla because I haven't seen the DA list, or was he referring to me? But now I understand what he meant by number 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Member Marania. Okay, members, we do agree. Advocate Masdorp, tomorrow, if we can meet 8 o'clock, Shumis and Lizette will communicate some other things on the group as the developments continue, so that tomorrow is easier for us to have lesser time in the meeting for members to continue with their day. Members, thank you very much. And Advocate Masdorp, Lizette, Shumis, Marcin, Claire,
Thank you,
You are
Chairperson.
appreciated,
Good
Meeting
day.
Sergeant.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chair.
Chair.
Bye-bye.
Bye.